Hi, everybody. If you're watching this video, you're probably a business owner and you're probably wondering about ROAS versus ROI in Google Ads and what they mean. And really, what is the difference? See, they're really similar, but they're both very different. And they are the holy grail in digital marketing, whether it's Google Ads or it's Facebook ads. It is the bottom line. And it's the number that you need to make sure you're 100% clear about. So in this video, I'm going to show you the difference between ROAS and ROI and what it means to your business. Hey everybody, I'm Richard Cruz. My agency, WSI Priority Media, we test new Google Ads strategy every single day. We're discovering the things that are working the best and what's not. And in these videos, I share with you ideas and tips to be able to help you get better results from your Google Ads or things to ask your Google Ads agency to make sure that they're doing for you. So ROAS is return on ad spend. ROI is return on investment. So there are two methods of using ROI versus ROAS. The exact methods, they're going to vary depending on what your objective is. So first, ROAS, it's used to measure the direct result inside of e-commerce campaigns. ROI is usually used most often when referring to lead generation campaigns. Secondly, ROAS is the direct cost of advertising inside of the ad account, the dollars spent versus the revenue generated, where ROI, on the other hand, is oftentimes used as a term that encompasses all the marketing costs, like the agency fees that they pay us, that we charge to manage the campaigns. So you're looking at the aggregate return, taking all of your costs into the equation. Google Ads has a conversion tracking tool, and it can be helped to determine your cost per lead, and then you can determine your ROI. For e-commerce, you need to set up your dynamic conversion tracking because each product is going to be a different cost and a different price. So you set up your conversion value. So in this example, we had 370 purchases, which is represented right in here. And the dynamic tracking was set up in advance. And so right in the dashboard, I can see the actual ROAS. So the cost per purchase was 14.72 pounds, and the total revenue was a little over $40,600 here, or pounds in this particular case. This was an international account. And so our ROAS was 4.78, is represented right here, or a 478% return on the ad spend. And that's a pretty healthy number. And so when your campaign is generating $4.78 for every dollar that's invested, it's a really safe and it's highly, highly recommended that you let your campaign scale and let Google send you as many leads at 478% ROAS as you can handle in your business. So for lead generation campaigns, however, your ROI is based on a cost per lead that you calculate ahead of time that's usually going to be aggregate across the board. So let's say, for example, unlike on the e-commerce where you're determining a return on ad spend on every single product. You have the cost, you have the amount that you generated the sale for, and so it's working at the product level. But on the lead generation, calculating the ROI, let's say a customer generates a $700 lifetime value. You know every new customer is on average that value for you. And you know that, say, for example, for every 4 leads that contact you, you close a sale. So you can work the numbers into your CPA cost or your cost per lead to determine what your ROI needs to be. And then you work backwards to determine what your CPA or your cost per lead max should be. And that's how you set your ROI for lead gen. You use that on a lifetime value. You work it down to to, what that return on investment is, what you can afford to pay for a customer, and then you work it down into your CPAs. If you're not setting up all your tracking, all your conversion measurements, all your values, then neither of these are going to work. But if you do, you're going to find that your dashboard is just really awesome, because you can see at a bird's eye view exactly how your campaign is performing and how your profitability is. How else are you going to know when it's time to scale? It's when these numbers are in line and measured to your target based on your costs, based on your profitability targets. When you're there in the zone that we call it, scale that up and let your campaigns just bring you as much business as your heart desires. And so that's my overview on ROAS versus ROI. And if you'd like to generate more revenue in your business on a continuous basis, then grab a copy of our third book. It's called Digital Minds. This guy right here, this is the #1 bestseller on digital marketing ideas on the market today. And it is loaded with ideas that are so easy to implement in your business. You can go pay $20 for it on Amazon, or if you want to click the link that's below, you can get a free digital copy on me. Just click the link, go grab a copy, and enjoy. And if you have any questions, if you need help with your digital marketing, feel free to reach out to me at wsi.prioritymedia.net. Be glad to chat with you and discuss your marketing goals and how we might be able to be of help to you. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.